Okay, so are we able to, are we still able to do something, plan something live if it's outdoors?
So I asked Mr. Mayo, and he said as well, I think everything changes probably weekly, right? And I think that's going to be the hard part with this, is that if we decide to have anything out, I think we just have to like really be watching it closely if anything changes. Because I feel like things are kind of, I don't know. It's hard to really tell. But I mean, he did say, as far like from that email that I sent you, I mean, they are allowing things outside if we wanted to. But I think we just have to kind of keep, I would say we just have to keep checking if we're planning on doing something outside. And Maria, this is Ina. So
Hi, how are you?
Nice to meet you, Maria.
Nice to meet you.
So we're just trying to figure out, I guess this is the first year, right, that we're doing something.
Yes.
To,
And after the spring, when I was involved with the AAPI for the first time, and we did everything virtually, there were so many moving parts and so much work. We did 3 or 4 things a week.
Right.
And that's why I was hoping that maybe we can just have one really nice commemoration, celebration. And not have to go through that, because they're just, first of all, we don't have enough time to plan it. It's really late. And we started that other one a month early, and we had 3 mothers from the community helping us. And even with that, we were like scrambling like crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we can definitely keep this as manageable as our time will allow. It doesn't need to be, it doesn't need to be a huge thing. We can
every day, right? You're right.
Right. I think the fact that that was so difficult to pull off, I think we can agree that doing 3 or 4 things a week is just not feasible, and that's okay. And you know, but I like the idea of doing an event. I think the 2 things we need to consider are obviously COVID, and then also a rain date, either a rain date or a rain location. And then we go back to COVID again. And then we are at a point where we can't have things inside, then is it something that we just have to cancel outright, or do we do tents? Do we do, I don't know. But
yeah. And the thing is, if we're involving, like, remember I talked to you about how I mentioned at a meeting, my idea was like, get a Latin DJ who knows all kinds of music, you know, from the different countries, get a food truck, and put up a lot of flags everywhere of the different countries, because I found out that there's 21 nations that are part of this Hispanic Heritage Month. And, you know, so I'm, you know, and if we can't, you know, we certainly can't buy all those flags, but we could have
Borrow them.
big, we can have a big printed thing, just one big printed thing with all the different flags on it, you know, like a big board display. As something, so just that's the educational part, you know, like that's the teacher in me who says everyone should know all the different nations that are included in this that have Spanish as their primary language. And I started doing some research, and I sent it to you.
I saw that.
Yeah, that US has
share, and I'm gonna, I don't know if I can share my.
We have the 5th largest amount of Spanish speakers, and but we're not by any means part of this commemoration, because we're an legally English speaking nation.
Right.
And the reason I did that research is because there's been so much discussion over how do you refer to people of all these different heritages, you know, Latin, Latinx, you know. And then that's how I found out that it was all of the peoples of countries that have Spanish as their native language. So that put my concern to rest, because I had no idea. I didn't want to be insensitive to people from one part of the world and the other. And it's even an African nation. Its primary language is Spanish.
Yeah, in terms of the name of the month, I have a friend who's Costa Rican, and she said, I love the fact that we have this month. I hate the name of it. Like, it basically celebrates the fact that the Spanish came and colonized Central and South America, and now we're celebrating that.
Right. And having been to Costa Rica, they have lots of reason to be proud in their own right.
Right.
You know, so yeah, but what else what are they going to call it? Spanish speaking Heritage Month? I mean, what were they going to call it?
Right.
So yes, it does in a sense celebrate colonialism, which is not something that we really want to celebrate.
Right.
So, which is why October, was it 11th this year, is Indigenous People Day, not
Right.
Columbus Day. Plus that was a genocidal venture also. But anyway,
At the
so-
same time, recognizing that this is an opportunity to bring awareness, to bring education, to bring all the cultures together, so we can give it whatever tone we want, right? Like we don't have to like dwell on the negative things. We can just say, you know, this is a cultural experience for the entire town, and come and celebrate, you know, Hispanic heritage.
Yep.
So that's why I was thinking music is a great unifier, but I don't know any DJs that specialize in music from Hispanic speaking countries.
So
Actually,
I was going to ask you, Ina, because I think you work with somebody, or you know.
actually, well, this is, these people are not from Wakefield, but Veronica Robles has her Veronica Robles Cultural Center in East Boston. Actually was just on her radio show. She has a syndicated radio show on 99.9 FM in Boston. And she sings, she's a mariachi singer, and she couples up with this guy who has a beautiful voice, who sings all sorts of amazing popular covers of Hispanic songs. So they, I mean, I'm sure that they're like booked up that month, but like, doesn't hurt to ask to see if they're available and what the rates are. If you guys would like me to reach out, that's something I definitely could do.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, no, I think definitely to ask, we can get an idea, and then maybe what time days they have available. I mean, it doesn't have to be like the Saturday, like, you know, like prime time. Maybe we can do like, you know, something after, like after school, afternoon, like, you know, like what, a couple of hours.
Right. A Thursday evening.
Exactly.
from-
That doesn't have to be Sunday, like in the
Yeah.
middle of the day when everybody else is planning something, you
The
know?
only thing is it gets dark now by 7:30. I know, because my husband is out at a bluegrass concert tonight, and it's been postponed so many times, started at 6:15, they said until dark, which means that he should be home by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can reach out to them. I'm gonna tell you this. Of course, like the Mexican singer, the mariachi singer, she's unbelievable. She's like nationwide recognized. And this guy, Charlie, I mean, it's like a party when he sings, and it's all popular covers. Like you can't help but dance. Like he's a great guy to do this with. So I can reach out. What dates are we thinking? What is it, like the whole month is open? Like what are the dates?
We don't have any dates. yet.
Right. So I think we have.
When are you open?
Exactly. I think we can probably play it around planning around their schedule, because I think I think as long as we kind of fit it in within the month, right? We kind of stick around that. I think we'll be all right. And I think we can also use like Facebook. I was thinking, and I'm jumping, but like tomorrow, like post something, you know, related to this is a start of, you know, whatever we want to say, and then just kind of leave it at that, and then more to come. And then we can kind of come together and just kind of figure out when the event will be and the time and what we can.
The one thing we should do is be mindful that we have a whole nother subcommittee working on Indigenous people.
I know.
And that will be the weekend of the 9th, 10th, and 11th. So if we're going to do anything, it probably should be maybe the last week of this month. I mean, it's only 2 weeks away. The other thing is budget. Maria, I know that we have that's why when you talked about this woman who's nationally known, I know we could not afford to pay her usual going
We'll
rate.
see. We don't know.
Right.
We will ask.
Okay.
And we will decide. That's how
Okay.
we'll make that decision. We'll
Yeah.
ask and we'll see how it goes. So
And
I'll
I
say
love the
this-
sound, the idea of that fellow who sings songs from all the different countries. And the reason I was thinking of DJs is people might dance.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
this guy is amazing. I'll take that as an action item to reach out to them to see like when they're free.
okay.
I will see, like I'll tell them. And did you say like end of this month, like in 2 weeks?
Like the last week of this month, yeah.
But I'll ask them.
Yeah.
But I'll ask them about their availability in October, right?
Yeah.
Or the very first week of October, yeah.
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 I'm
And
sorry. Like so what is my time range? Because Is it from the last week of September to the first week of October, or do I have the whole
Yeah.
month of
You have
October?
Those,
Okay, except for the weekend of the 9th, 10th, and 11th, because we don't want to
Yeah.
clash.
this, this
okay.
particular commemoration is September 15th through October 15th. Am I correct,
Yes.
Maria?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we really want to have it maybe the last week of the month or the first week of next month, one of those 2 weeks.
Okay. Last week of September, first week of October. I don't believe I have anybody's email address, but Tere, you think you can put me in the loop in the email so that I can communicate after?
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah, I will actually, I'm taking little bits of minutes because we're required to.
Yeah.
And I will send, well, Teresa will send me your email address so that I can include you to look over the minutes, and on the minutes we'll have our email. Well, that's not a good idea, is it? Put our email addresses in the minutes, is it?
No.
We don't need our email addresses in a minute.
No,
Just who was there. Yeah.
no, but if Teresa sends me your email address, I'll send you all of our, because you want the
Okay.
minutes as well.
Yeah.
Now-
And Tere, I just sent you my email address by
I got it.
Messenger. Okay.
Yeah. Now, when I was talking about food, I was thinking the easiest thing to do is get somebody whose business is to sell food to people, because this way they can come and set up a food truck. And I know there must be, I haven't researched this, but I know there must be a food truck association in Boston. And I think it wouldn't be that hard to find somebody who had a variety of different kinds, even if it was just an empanada truck. Because almost every country makes empanadas. I make empanadas, and I'm not Latin, but I don't know. That seems like a universal. Anytime I've been in any Spanish-speaking country, everybody has empanadas. Now, is this a stereotype? Am I wrong, or is it pretty traditional everywhere?
I have empanadas. We have a different kind of empanadas that I think other empanadas, but we eat empanadas.
Okay.
Yeah, in Venezuela, too, like empanadas are empanadas. Yes.
I've been in Venezuela. I ate empanadas in Venezuela. I
Yeah.
ate empanadas in Costa Rica. I've eaten empanadas in,
Right, I
in
think
Spain.
Yeah, Mexico, you're right. Yep.
Yeah,
I think we all
Mexico.
make them just different, maybe different ways, but
Just a little bit different, but empanada is a yes.
empanada, right, yeah.
It's
So-
a yes anywhere.
Do you think it would be a good idea to have like a food truck that had that so people could taste, and maybe I can find one that is talented enough that they make various kinds from different nations?
That would be nice. I don't think, yeah, because I mean, they're bringing their business. We're not doing, we're not.
And in all honesty, I don't think people are going to be very picky. You're already providing a lot of infusions from like Hispanic heritage. This is going to be fun. I don't think people are going to be splitting hairs. I mean, like, well, but this is not how they make them in my country. They like to say that just to be able to talk about their country. Like, well, in Venezuela, we make them this way. I don't think it would be a complaint, though. I think people would buy the empanadas anyway because they're delicious anyway.
I know. I just made an Argentine barbecue for my friends, like everything, including homemade empanadas and all of the meats, tons of meat. It's like death by meat. And bunches, it is. Oh, an asada, an Argentine asada is death by meat.
Yeah.
And so I am very.
You're getting me hungry with all this talk.
I cook for 2 days because this is not something that you do every day.
Right.
But it was special for friends. But I will take charge of trying to find food. Do you think that would be good if we had music, food, and like I said, if we can come up with some way of having a huge display of the flags of the nation? Because I looked at maps, and yeah, there's a lot of things in our hemisphere, northern, southern hemisphere, this part of the world. Then there's Spain, and there's that one country in Africa. So the map, there's a lot of empty space in it. It's not like what I did for AAPI when I had Asia, that was all these neighboring countries that started in the Mediterranean and went to the Pacific. So that was one unified map. And like I said, I don't, unless I could find a poster online that just had all the flags, and then go to Staples and have it enlarged like I did the other thing.
No, but I like the idea of having flags. I think we can get flags. I will start asking. I feel like that's something easy that we can come up with.
I mean, actual flags?
Yeah, like little, it doesn't even have to be like huge things, you know, but like little flags, I mean, we can put around. I'll look into that. Let me take that.
Okay.
So we'll have that for whatever we decide the event will be. So I
Okay.
like the site that you share with me, and I think Maria was on it. I don't think Ina was on it, but it gives all the countries that
Mhm.
are, you know, the National Hispanic Month.
Oh, yes, I saw that. Yep.
It's based on. So
Yeah.
I think we just go with that. Whatever they give us, we'll stick with.
Now, Maria, in your work, I mean, you represent immigrants to this country, right? Do you have a line on flags, maybe from different people that you meet from different countries?
I can certainly, I mean, I don't have cases. I work for an Office of Immigrant Affairs, but within that unit, there are, I can certainly reach out to a few different people in that unit to see if they have any thoughts about that in terms of where to get flags or, yeah, I mean, my initial thought would be to contact embassies, but if there's 20 something
21.
countries, that's a lot of contacts and
Yeah.
waiting for flags to get shipped and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll figure something out.
Now, by any chance, is there something in your office decorative that represents Hispanic
We can
heritage?
borrow a flag.
I was thinking, is this, I mean, I know I have a load of stuff in my office. I'm thinking everyone has stuff in their office. Anything at all that, or,
I will check when I go in tomorrow. So yeah, I started my job 3 months before the shutdown, and then I was home for 15 months. So
okay.
and a lot of people took stuff home because we were remote, and so I will check around the office.
And also, I know that there are, I'm trying, is it Villa Victoria? Is that the name? There's a
Villa
there's a
Victoria in
Villa Victoria. Is that that is a Hispanic heritage?
so Villa Victoria is mostly Puerto Rican.
Okay.
That's the focus, I think, of that they're in South, I think this is South Boston.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've had, years ago, we had a function in their facility,
Yeah.
but I couldn't remember if it represented just one Hispanic heritage or multiple. But is there any organizations in Boston that?
So I think what Ina mentioned with Veronica Robles, she actually, her main focus is to kind of do that, is to educate the community. And
Okay.
so I think she probably might be a good contact. I think if we can talk to her, she actually does like national dances from like Chile, Peru, like all different countries. And she brings that to all different places for education. So I know she actually works with that group from Chile, and they're all teaching them, you know, like how to dance and all that stuff. So she does classes for young kids, older kids, adults. So she actually has like a big center, and it's actually in Boston, well, East Boston. And I think she might be like actually a good resource for us.
Who could recommend other people?
Yeah, because she kind of taps, I think, all over, not just Mexico, but I think it's all over, like Latin America, Central America.
I can ask her when I go about talking about music. I'll send her a message and ask her what else she does, like all those classes and things. So would she be willing to do what is a good idea and go from there?
Yeah, because I think she's doing an event, or they're doing some sort of event this Friday for Chile, because it's the independence, obviously. So there's all this stuff that I know she's working on. So
well, several of the nations' Independence Days are the 15th, I found out.
Yeah, because in my house we have Guatemala and Chile, so we celebrate both. So yeah, no, this is a busy month for us. So no, this is definitely exciting. So I think if we so Ina's probably gonna get that information in regards to some dates, or I hope we get some sort of some options with dates from the event. And then if Sherry, you get some suggestions on food, I'll worry about the flags. And then
by the way, what is the venue? Oh, we don't know right now. We're just trying to iron out.
We asked if we could do it outside. So I was thinking more like around the lake area.
The gazebo.
Right. I was thinking there because there's parking. You have that beautiful space you know,
Yeah.
plan your space so you can space out if, you know,
Right.
COVID is
Yeah.
the concern.
The performers could be up on the bandstand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I think
Right.
that would be really nice.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm picturing.
Me as well. Now what happens if it's a rain date? Do we move to the AmeriHall or what do we do? It just, I don't know what's involved with moving, having anything at the AmeriHall. I've never booked anything there.
I mean,
I
it
rented
is-
their heritage. There's the basketball court, which is much bigger. There's also the heritage room, which is, you know, it's a decent size, but it's probably more
No,
for like
that's
parties of like 50
small.
people. Yeah, the heritage room is $40 an hour. I'm not sure what the basketball court would be.
Yeah.
So I just gave you totally useless information.
Yeah.
There you go.
Not
There you
useless, no.
go.
My
And
only
it-
concern with the basketball court, I mean, first of all, I know that there's a lot of evening activities.
I know, for the
and stuff
kids,
like
right?
that. So that's my primary concern. And then, I mean, I agree that the Heritage Room is a little small. That room is enormous, and the music in there I feel like it is cacophonous, like the
Yeah.
sound in there. So, and if we didn't have a huge turnout, it would look even smaller in a room that big.
But I'm also thinking about any place that we had, especially if we had a food truck, we would need to be able to have a door.
Right.
So the food truck could park right outside so people can go and get their food and come back in.
Oh, there's parking right in front of the Americo.
Oh, yes.
So like people would just go down the stairs and come up the stairs. Like,
Well, I was thinking like this, where the Boys and Girls Club is, I
The
haven't
back?
been inside there.
Yeah, they have the entrance on the
They have
side.
an entrance on the side. Do they have a big open space down there?
I don't know.
But I don't know.
I don't, and I mean, there's always the schools, of course.
You can go to, like,
We could be in the lobby of the Galvin, you know, kind of thing, if they would allow us to do such a thing. I mean, we have public spaces. It's just a matter of how much notice and how involved it is to be able to reserve those public spaces.
right.
And again, you know, we want to have it so that there's space for people, but like you said, not so cavernous that it looks, you know, that it.
So if we were going to need a space inside, would that be the same, the town as well, that we need to talk to, or we need to talk to just like the managers of each building? How does that work?
I think it depends on if it's a school building, I think we reach out to the principal of the school.
Okay.
And if it's a town building, yeah, I think start with Steve Mayo, and
Okay.
he can let us know who we need to talk with
You know, there's also a field house
in the high school.
at the high school. Yeah. So, you know, there's a lot of different, and probably the town spaces, we would need to pay for janitorial, but we probably wouldn't have to pay for rental for the school spaces.
I think we'd still have to, as far as I know, there needs to be a janitor on staff to open the building and close up the building.
Right. Like
Yeah.
I said, pay for janitorial supervision and the like, but not necessarily a rental fee of
Oh, I see what
hundreds
you
of,
mean.
yeah,
Right,
for the
right,
space
right.
itself.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking the schools. I don't know anything about the elementary schools. I just know I've been in the Galvin and the high school when they have, and that
have
field
that.
house is not used in evenings, I don't think. You know, especially not in the fall. Maybe that's more of a football thing, isn't it, the field house?
That's basketball. I
Oh, it's
mean,
basketball. Okay.
Basketball, yeah, I don't know in the fall, and but if it's a rainy night, I don't know if that's like the backup location, like for the marching band or for
All right.
something like that. Yeah, so
Mm.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, like I said, I'm most familiar with the Galvin space. And that worked really well also because you, like I said, if we had a food truck, we could be right outside the door.
Right.
And we could be just that one public entrance where you go to vote, there's the lobby, and then there's the smaller gymnasium on the right, not the voting gymnasium, but the one on the
Right.
right, which I think is that a lunchroom or is it might be the lunchroom area on the right.
Yes, that's the cafeteria on the right. Yep.
Yeah, and that would work because that has seats to begin with. We don't even have to think about any seating.
Right.
If we had to be inside there.
Right.
But again, we don't know what kind of nighttime activities they have planned in those places and what would be required of us. Like I said, I believe we'd have to pay for janitorial staff,
Mhm.
and that probably would be the total of the cost, probably someone who has to be there for a period of time before us. And you figure what, a 2-hour event? We're looking at maybe a 2-hour event, an hour and a half event, because that makes a difference.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, I think an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, especially if it's something like on a Thursday night or
Yeah,
something. Like that.
yeah. I don't think it's gonna be more than that.
And do we want to, because like I said, it gets dark so early this time of the year. What time would we start such a thing, especially do we start at like late afternoon? Then that way people go home for dinner or they eat their whatever from the food truck for dinner. Or I'm trying to think of all your guests.
Right. I think the food truck for dinner. So I think maybe like either like 6:30 to 8:30,
I
so
was gonna
people have
say
enough time to get home from work, and yeah.
Okay. And I think very likely people would not be there all the 2 hours unless they just, like me, couldn't get enough of the music.
Right, yeah.
And I know how to do a lot of those dances.
Yeah, I think so too. I think if we have like some, just somebody to just give a little bit overview of just what the month is about, like nothing,
Yes.
not too big, because I think we can do the educating kind of through Facebook, whatever post, and we share a link and
Yes.
and just kind of welcome people and do all that, and then have the music and just the event. I think that's probably better than.
Well, maybe, let's see, I can, every few, well, we can't do it every few days, but I can come up with, because I've already started doing these web searches with sort of the fun fact type thing that we can post on our Facebook page, and can also be posted even on Patch. Because people, I know I get tons, I don't know how many people get their feed, but boy, they send a lot of stuff out. They really do. I just have to again establish, because I have to cancel out the account they put in my name. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I have to cancel that and create one just for HRC.
Yep.
But I will do a little research on postings, like fun facts, what I can. I mean, it can start with the fact that, did you realize that there are 21 different nations that are commemorated during this month? Or did you know that Hispanic Heritage Month is a way of celebrating all of the Spanish-speaking nations of the world, wherever they are, and just statements like that.
Right.
And I don't even like. This is going to sound really strange, but I don't get anything from the HRC Facebook. I thought I friended you guys and I never get anything, so I don't know what I've done wrong. I never see any of the posts. I have to go to the site.
Yeah, you have to make sure you follow the site.
Well, I thought I did. I better check into it again, because I don't even know what gets posted.
Okay. This is where I'm going to tell you a little bit of how Facebook likes to do things. So, and this is a big reason why, I tell my people, because I teach social media, and I tell my people, don't even like focus so much on trying to grow your following on your Facebook page, because this is what happens. Facebook, what they really want is for you to pay for ads.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine if you had a Facebook page that is super successful, that every single person in the town is subscribed to, you wouldn't need ads, because every time you post, the town sees it. So what they've done is on purpose bring down viewership of anything on a business Facebook page so that you pay for ads. So I would not rely on the fact that every time you post something, people are seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens. So that's why people end up having Facebook groups. That's why, having a Wakefield community group, you're going to see more posts from there than from a page.
Hmm. Well, to tell you the truth, I don't use my Facebook page. I think I have 49 friends and 48 of them are my husband's cousins. So,
A lot of cousins.
oh, yeah, they are. No, I only friend family
Mhm.
because I don't even look at most of their posts.
Yeah.
And I rarely post anything myself. So but I would like to be able to get, like, from other things, I get notifications on what's being posted and I don't ever get anything from WHSC.
Yeah, make sure you're following the page. Maybe you just unclicked it or something happened.
So what do I just go to the page and itself?
Right,
And
when
then,
you click on the page, you make sure you're following it.
okay, I'll see what I have to do because I don't usually do that. And I mean, I get stuff that, well, obviously Google has my number, so that's everybody's.
That's another thing that they use is whatever you are more prone to
That's
see,
right.
that's what they're gonna show to you.
That's right. You buy a rug, suddenly every ad that shows up is rugs. I just bought one. I don't need any more, you know?
Buy a rug.
Yeah. Okay, so what we have then, and here's our action items, and I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can read my scribbles. Ina, I am so happy you've joined us. Okay, so we are going to be commemorating in Hispanic Heritage Month, the people of the Spanish-speaking nations. Ina has contacts with Veronica, I'm not going to pronounce it the Spanish way because I can't roll my own, Robles, who will be able to give us some leads perhaps on DJs or other kinds of music that we could feature. Sherry's going to research food trucks and find if we can get 1 or 2 food trucks to come. That way we don't have to worry ourselves about catering.
Right.
Because it's their business and they will, you know, if we have to, we'll pay their license fee to the town to be able to set up if that's all it requires, if it's not much. And Teresa is going to work on flags. And Maria, what were you going to work on? You going to help with the flags or research insights? Research inside space just in case?
Sure.
Okay, Maria will research our alternate space.
Mhm.
And we have agreed that this should be 1.5 hours to 2 hours, starting at 6:30, and it could be a weeknight. In fact, that's probably the easiest way for us to get the commercial people to come. And I will also do a little bit of research and try to pull together a dozen different fun facts that we can keep posting on so we can keep people thinking about coming to this. And I think we're good. We've got a lot going on here. We have to meet again though.
Yes, so one more question. So for tomorrow, since tomorrow starts, I know it's kind of, I was thinking we should just kind of, I don't know, if this is too boring to just paste from the Hispanic Heritage Month.gov website that Sherry shared, that each year Americans observe the national, you know, like, and just paste that into Facebook and just say, you know, this is a start and more to come.
Right.
Would that be okay?
Yep.
I think
Just a
so.
statement from that. Do you want me to, I have to talk to Benny tonight anyway. Do you want me to send her it?
If
that?
you could, because I don't have
Yeah.
the access to our website, I mean, to
I'll
our
get it.
Facebook page,
Okay.
so I can't get there, but I think it's good just to kind of put what is it about and.
Okay, I will send her the initial post on the Hispanic Heritage Month. And that we are planning festivities and
Right, or just say, you know, more to come and. then-
yeah. Well, I'm gonna say we're planning festivities,
Okay,
you know, a festive event to commemorate. We need festive events, we really do. As we end up getting locked in again behind our mask and in our houses and
oh, I know.
We'll get
I did go to a big festival Labor Day weekend and they checked everyone's, I mean, giant camping festival. They checked everyone's vaccination status. They wouldn't let you into the campground or the concert area.
Wow.
So it was like 4,000 people.
Wow,
Yeah, it's a big thing I go to every year and we decided we really didn't, even though I'm on crutches, camping was not that easy. But they were careful. They were checking everyone, which made people
feel
confident.
better, right, yeah.
Right. So,
So I know, so for check in again, right, to see how we're doing with this team.
yes, we have to give the town, how many days notice before we can even have a meeting?
It has to be 48 hours, 48 hours, but they prefer 72.
Okay. Okay.
So next Tuesday, we have that other meeting.
We have a regular
Right.
HRC meeting, and I have Books by the Lake on Wednesday. And we're gonna meet live outside the library. It's gonna be so
Oh.
exciting, but we're not doing a potluck, we're doing brown bag because of COVID.
I
We
know.
usually do this
I was
amazing-
wondering when we're gonna meet live.
Yeah, Books by the Lake, oh, yeah. And so either, maybe next Thursday?
Guys, around Thursday.
Yeah,
I can do
because,
Thursday.
I mean, I can do, oh no, I can't do early in the evening on Wednesday. Reading my book.
I can do
Thursday?
Thursday too.
Thursday? And by Thursday, we should have our various things ready. But we should have some answers for each other.
You can
At
do.
least some answers, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. So you want me to send it to the town, Sherry? You want me to send the request for the meeting?
Yes, and the agenda is follow up on action items from this meeting.
Yep.
That's all you have to tell her.
Short and sweet.
Yeah, follow up on action items from this meeting. And I will prepare those brief little minutes because I have to send that to her as well. You know, actually, wait, what's the order of things? We have to,
No, we have
Vote.
to vote on the minutes.
yeah,
So that will be next meeting.
yeah, the 23rd. But I'll send them in the meantime. And, you know, it's just a record of what we've all
Yeah.
Right.
committed to doing.
Yeah,
So-
and at our main meeting next Tuesday, we can vote on these. We can
Right.
vote on these minutes.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Next Tuesday. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
And I think, I mean, I think we're gonna have more people interested in this event as well, that just maybe not able to all make it to be part of a subcommittee, but.
And I know that because because I live right in town, I know from walking around in town, people are very quiet, but there are a lot more people of Hispanic heritage than most people realize in the town of Wakefield.
Right.
There's a bunch of families that live on Princess Street because I see their kids and I see them walking around. And so I'm hoping that maybe those folks, I wish those folks would come and join in on this and make suggestions and help us out, but maybe they're a little shy about it.
Yeah, but maybe if they see something in town, you know, maybe they'll come around
Right.
once, you know, they know stuff like this happens, and then we can, you know.
Well, I
And
think we might have to put flyers up around town too.
that banner has been really effective to let me know what's going on in the town. That banner that goes right across the main street, that is right across from America Civic Center.
Yeah.
Usually tells you this is happening, and I'm like, oh, that's how I find out. That's how I get my news, is reading that banner.
I wonder how much it would cost to have
I know,
a
how much
banner made.
Well,
I mean, I'm friends with Rich at the sign shop. Even during COVID, I would stand outside his door and talk with him, visit with him. So maybe, I don't know how much those banners, they're pretty expensive probably, because they have to be able to withstand the weather.
right, yeah,
Plus, yeah, we would need to figure out how far in advance we would need to.
right, a banner, yeah.
Right.
Right. Yeah, because you got to get permission from the town.
Can we use the town kiosk?
Oh, yes.
Town
I think
thing?
so,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
and Jen McDonald, once we have a date, I'll put together a really colorful flyer. And Jen loves when I send her these flyers just the right size, and she's been putting them on the kiosk by the lake and the kiosk in town
Oh,
hall,
okay,
the digital kiosk, the
right,
digital kiosk. Plus, they'll be in the other kiosk as well, where people walk the lake and the like. So I'll put together, I will do, once we know what to put on it, I will make a
once we
poster.
have something, yeah, no, that's good, that's for next meeting.
Yes, because we need the details first.
Yep.
Oh,
And-
can I ask a question?
Yes,
Just, I'm sorry if it's a silly question, just to be super clear, because I think it changed throughout the meeting. are we doing only one event or are we
Yeah.
doing multiple events?
So it's one event. We're just gonna kind of try to put a little bit more stuff on the Wakefield Human Rights Commission Facebook page, just
Yeah.
like educating people of what, what the month is about, but.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to Veronica and to Charlie, and I'm gonna tell them, are you free? And we're looking for, I missed the time, early afternoon, evening,
6:30,
Evening.
6:30, an hour and a half, 2 hours total.
Yeah.
evening, pretty much any day of the week.
Yep. We're being
It
flexible right now.
depends on their
Whatever-
availability, right?
We'll
Exactly.
take,
Right.
we'll take what they can give us, right?
I think we're working
Right.
with our schedule. Yeah.
Got
Right.
it, got it,
I
got
mean,
it.
if it turns out they're available on a Sunday afternoon, we can start earlier.
Okay, well, let me catch up with them and I'll let you know.
That would be great. Thank you so much, because I really didn't know where to turn for that part of this. I mean,
If we
all-
get Charlie, you're not gonna regret it. Oh my God, yeah.
I mean, he sounds fabulous. I mean, if you needed bluegrass, I can definitely help you. But
All
but
right.
not- okay, great. Okay, so we're good to go. I'll put together these little bits of minutes and actually,
I sent you her email, Sherry, so you have,
okay, great.
I just-
Okay,
I emailed you a little bit earlier.
excellent. I will then put these together and send it out so we have just our record of what we're committed to doing. And as long as I'm still sort of only semi-retired, I still have all the really great, my business still buys all the software for the graphics. So do not hesitate to use me for that. I mean,
Awesome.
yeah, okay. Take care. Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Nice seeing everybody.